Now you know when you see me by myself, I'm not really alone. Curtis is actually back there somewhere getting things ready because this is a all cooking show. So I want you to get your paper and your pencil, ring somebody on the telephone, tell them Abundant Living is on, and we have some really good stuff cooking in the kitchen today. Stay by. Well, we're excited about this program. I'm Paula Akins, and this is my husband,
Curtis Akins. Yes, Curtis.
Curtis Akins, and we are excited about you being here today because
Yes,
we're going to be talking about a kingdom which is actually the pea kingdom, the lentils.
Oh,
and
okay.
We're excited about that because lentils are so versatile and they have so much going on with them. And they're different from a bean because the bean kingdom, called the legume kingdom, they take a longer period of time to cook. But when we talk about the lentils, they're like the lentils, black-eyed peas, split peas, the green split and the yellow split peas. They take only about 35 or 45 minutes to get done, where your bean kingdom takes a much longer time. And so the lentils is not only a good pea, but it also goes all the way back to Scripture, all the way back to the very beginning of time.
Okay.
You know, somebody sold their birthright
Oh.
for some lentils.
That's right.
And that lentils also is Esau.
Okay.
Sold the birthright
All right.
to Jacob.
Okay.
And
Very
when
good,
you think
honey.
about that, it's the lentils is like they call it. It's a Latin word for porridge.
Lentils?
Because it becomes very, very thick when you actually cook the lentils themselves, okay? And the lentils are different types. They have all different colors, they're different shapes and sizes, but the one we're going to be using today is one that only takes about 35 or 40 minutes to cook, but like I said, it's versatile, and we're going to be doing some things with that. Our very first recipe, however, is actually a lentil stew, so let's look at the recipe. It calls for 1 cup of lentils, 3 cups of water, 1 medium potato diced, or 1 carrot sliced thin, or 1 cup of celery sliced, 1/2 cup of onions chopped, 1 medium green pepper diced, 3/4 cups of water, or 1 cup of tomato sauce, 2 teaspoons of McKay's beef-style seasoning, or 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of sweet basil, and salt to taste.
Okay. Now let's talk about that McKay's beef-style seasoning. This may be a new ingredient for a lot of people, and there's a chicken-style seasoning too. So let's talk about that first of all.
Now both of these are just really substitutes. They're not the real thing at all. Beef-style seasoning kind of reminds you there's no beef in it whatsoever. And it's just like when you take a bouillon cube and you put it in hot water and it kind of stir it up, it makes like a sauce, kind of like a vegetable broth. Well, this one makes like a beef broth, but there's no beef. And there's a chicken also, chicken style, and there's no chicken. All right.
And then where can people purchase that if they're interested?
At the regular grocery store,
Regular
believe it or
grocery
not.
store.
Yeah, more and more stores are now going into like a health food section, or we call natural food section. So just look in your store and see that. And you know what I always say on Abundant Living? If you see something that you have seen on the show and it's not in your store, go and talk to the manager. Say you saw it on 380 on Abundant Living.
Lobby.
And lobby for it.
Supply and demand.
That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Now, this is a real good stew. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. I've actually started already putting in my potato and also my carrots.
Fire's already on?
I'm going to turn the fire on now because I need you to go ahead on and get the bell pepper ready.
Okay.
And we're also going to go ahead and get that celery ready.
Dice this or what?
Yes.
Okay.
This is what gives that flavor, that pizzazz also. All these spices actually go in to make this a wonderful dish. And I've done my potatoes in a large chunks, and also the carrots we sliced very, very thin. And while you're doing that, we're going to also cut up, and you're just going to do this in cubes, Curtis, for me.
Okay.
And these seasonings are what really makes it, the recipe, the dish come together. Lentils kind of have, like I call it, a peppery type of a flavor to it. And so on this one here, it's going to not only give that flavor, but when we add all the other ingredients to it, it's going to be absolutely wonderful and very pretty to color as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. And as you're doing that one, that's fine, honey.
That's fine.
I'm going to stir that in there, and I'll just move that over so we can stir it up. Stir it on in there. All right. remember, it doesn't take very long to cook it all. All right. And then we're going to go ahead on with that as well.
It's going to be a good hearty stew.
Bring that back over here.
Oh, you're going to cut the onions?
And we're going to go ahead on and get the onions cut up as well. It's going to go in there. And let's use this other knife. So this one here's got a better, sharper blade. Now, Curtis, when we talk about the whole bean kingdom, we're talking also, and the pea kingdom, we're talking about actually a lot of fiber. This is where that fiber comes from.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how important is fiber when it comes to getting your body together from a healthy standpoint. Okay. That fiber in food.
Fiber has a great positive impact on the body system. Number one, fiber helps to clean up the arteries of that fiber. The hole on the bean, that's the fiber portion right there. Also reduces cholesterol. Also helps to regulate blood sugar, glucose levels for diabetes. A lot of people don't know that as well. And fiber also helps the stools to move through the system smoothly. So fiber has a lot of benefits. And we don't want the refined process. We want the food that's in the whole plant kingdom, the way it is that God has created in nature. So, and all these foods right here are not processed.
Not
so you
processed.
have the fiber the way God created it in the first place.
And not talking about fiber, we also get a lot here because of the fact that not only we have the carrots going on, we got the potatoes going on, we also have the celery going on as well. Okay, so we're going to put the celery in along with this. And remember I said about maybe 35 minutes or so, this dish is actually ready. So we're going to go ahead and put that celery in. Nice.
Yes, there's been a lot of emphasis on whole grains as well. And so we want the fiber, the whole grains, and this is going to be nice and hearty.
A nice stew. Now normally what happens is when we fix this dish, we actually let it cook down until it gets to that tender state, which is the actual lentil itself. I say about 35, 40 minutes. We got the onions and the bell peppers, all that in there together. Sometimes I will actually start it off by actually putting everything in there together. I will start it off with my water. I'll have the potatoes in there, the carrots in there, the celery, the green onions, the green peppers. Everything is there because they'll all cook around the same time, okay? But for expediency's sake, I thought I would just go ahead on and get started ahead of time there. Now our seasoning we're going to be using is that beef style seasoning.
Okay.
And we're going to be using also, yes, we're going to use a sweet basil. Somebody asked me one time, basil, you said sweet basil, or basil. Sometimes you'll see it as the word sweet basil. Sometimes you'll see the word basil. They're still the same thing, the same kind of herb. We're going to go ahead and put those in as well. It actually helps to make this have a wonderful taste too.
And basil here.
That's the basil, sweet basil.
And what is this?
That's the garlic.
Garlic powder.
And I always say salt to taste, but I know exactly how much salt we're going to use in that one there, so we're going to stir it up. Does this look good or what? And it smells good also.
Now, how long? You said this needs
about 35 to 40 minutes. I usually do it until the potato itself or the carrots are tender. Okay, but I like this soup, and what's going to happen? I'm going to turn it down. And I'm going to put the lid on it, and because it's going to cook for a few minutes, and then at the end of the program, you'll get a chance to see the finished product. So we're going to just go ahead and put the lid on. And I know you said, what about that tomato sauce? The tomato sauce is the last thing to go in, so we're going to hold off on that tomato sauce. I'm going to turn it down because, sometimes, Curtis, people say to me, when I eat the beans, and even when I eat the peas, I have flatulence. And I'm trying to figure out how do I get rid of that. Well, there's two things going on. Number one is that the flatulence does not come mainly because of the peas, like the lentils, split peas, black-eyed peas.
Just from the beans.
Normally from the bean kingdom. And that's because in the bean kingdom, there's a ribose sugar. That's one of the complicated sugars the Creator God has put into the food kingdom. And so in order for that to break down, it has to move into the smaller intestines. And once it gets there, because that ribose sugar is so complicated, it winds up causing us to have flatulence. Now, there's a way to get rid of that, and that is that you take your beans, and you're going to clean them off, get rid of the debris, put them into a plastic container, fill it up with water, and you want to do at least an inch to 2 inches of water above the last bean. Put it up in the freezer, and you want to freeze them for at least 24 hours because the crystalline that goes on in the bean itself. It helps to break that sugar down, and you don't have as much problems as you would normally. So you're going to bring them out. You got that water going on, and let's say this is your plastic container, and then you're going to put that plastic container aside like this and let the water run over it just to loosen it. And then you're going to put it into a very large spoon, and you're going to put it into your Dutch oven or your large saucepan that holds anywhere from 4 to 6 quarts. And then you're going to let it come to a boil, and then from there, you're going to turn it off. And you're going to let it simmer when you turn it back on for a few minutes. Now, I know you said that's an awful lot of stuff for me to try to remember. Don't worry about it, because you can always either email us, Facebook us, write us, call us. And also, it comes from our books as well. Yeah. So you can get all that information on how to do that. But it's really a lot simpler.
Well, that's good to know, because a lot of people have problems with the flagellants. And so that's good to know how to reduce that, ribose sugar? The
ribose sugar, and also that fiber is there too. That fiber is on the skin of the bean itself as well. Okay. So pulse, porridge, nice and good for the tummy. Okay. Lots of fiber. You talked already about diabetes. You talked about lowering that cholesterol, because it's all the food we're fixing. Actually, when we cook on 3ABN, there's no cholesterol whatsoever.
And it also gives you a sense of fullness.
Absolutely.
This type of diet, whole foods, a sense of fullness, and doesn't have the empty calories that other foods may have based on the process level.
Low in calories, that's the name of the game, all right?
High in nutrition.
High in nutrition. Okay. Well, speaking about high in nutrition, there's a recipe that I'm going to be fixing next. And I know they're going to be surprised, because we're actually going to be making some burgers using the lentils as well.
Okay, meatless burgers.
Meatless burgers using lentils, that's what I'm talking
about.
Using lentils? Let's go right to the actual recipe.
Okay, let's do it.
Lentil tofu burgers. It calls for 2 cups of lentils, or 1 cup of water-packed tofu, firm and mashed, or 1 cup of onions chopped, 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats, 1/2 cup of instant oats, or 1 teaspoon of sage, or 1 teaspoon of red pepper seeds, or 1 tablespoon of parsley chopped, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. Okay. Now, you said the fact we're actually making burgers. Yes, we are.
Lentil burgers.
Lentil burgers, okay. Now, I have already done the lentils when I made them up.
Already been cooked?
They've already been cooked already.
Okay.
So you're going to actually put them into your little chopper there, and you're going to mash that up for me.
Oh, the lentils go in here, okay.
Mash that up for me. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead on and cut up some parsley, because parsley is a part of this as well. And
okay.
These burgers are really good. Someone asked me a question about our breadcrumbs, and I said, I just take the breadcrumb ends that I have, the bread I have left over, old bread, and I just take and cut it up, put it on a cookie sheet, and bake it in the oven. Bake it in the oven. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you make, you have breadcrumbs. And it's more controlled, controlled. Okay, I think that's enough that you're going to put in there, honey, for right now.
Oh, I can put some more, baby.
No, I think that's enough right there.
Oh, that's enough?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's go ahead and start that up.
Okay, let me see here.
All right. Now, believe it or not, I want a little bit of those left over.
Oh, you want some?
Okay. I'm actually doing the tofu. This is a 1 cup of the tofu. We're actually mashing this up.
Now, this is firm?
This is the firm tofu.
Firm tofu, okay. All right.
All right. And once again, you can use also extra firm too, because we're not making meat patties, remember that. And this is an easy one too to make up, and it is so good. It's so good, okay? Now, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you go ahead on and put that lentil. Let's go ahead on and get that in there. You got a spatula?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and get the lentils in here now with that.
Okay.
And once again, it's very, very colorful.
Let me take out this middle piece here.
Okay.
And get everything out.
That's my little mini chopper.
Yeah.
Mini chopper.
I call it the Mighty Mo.
Ah.
Okay.
Gonna mix that in there with that. Once again, we got that combination going on. We have old-fashioned oats and we have the instant oats also. That's going to give us that texture we need to have. So we got that in.
Okay.
All righty. Okay. And then with this also, you're going to go ahead on and add that parsley. Let's go ahead and put the parsley in.
Okay.
Fresh parsley.
Fresh parsley going in. Now, how in the world did you get a recipe using lentils? I mean, how did this come about?
Curtis, I mean, I see recipes out there. They might be recipes that have maybe eggs and other things in them,
Okay.
and then I play around with them for a while and say, okay, if I can convert, if it's cottage cheese, I can use tofu.
Tofu, that's
and so
easy.
sometimes I just kind of look at a recipe and see how can I make that switch
Okay.
and still have it taste good. All right.
Still the same mouthfeel and the texture.
That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
Without sacrificing taste.
Now, would you give me all that parsley right there? Because I like to have all that.
You want all of it?
All of it.
Okay.
I'm going to take it off your spoon, too.
All right.
Okay. And all of it. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to put in the rest of the things. Here we go. Let's go
Okay,
ahead on and
now.
start off with, let's get the old-fashioned oats in.
Okay, old-fashioned oats.
All right. And let's go ahead on and get in the onions so we can get that texture
And
going
the
on.
onions. Okay.
You're going to get everything, all the goodies, all the goodies. I like this burger. You can make burgers out of this. That nice burgers that go on a whole wheat bun, lettuce, tomatoes, onion, the whole 9 yards. You know
Honey
what I'm saying?
hush.
Okay.
Anything with onions is going to taste good
Now,
anyway.
what I'm going to do is this.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you. Because I want
You're
you
gonna
to
leave me?
No, I'm going to go
I
over
don't want
here.
you to leave me.
I'm going to go over here and get the pot ready.
Oh, okay.
The skillet ready. I want you to go ahead and put the instant oats in.
I can finish
You can
doing
stir
this
it up.
part?
Yeah. Put that in, and then you can actually go ahead and mix that in together.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead on and get this ready because we're going to get the skillet hot enough so we can go ahead on and make the burgers.
Okay. Now, do you want me to add the other ingredients?
Yes, you got the oats that you're going to put in there next. I mean, the breadcrumbs. Go ahead and put the breadcrumbs in.
Okay. All right.
I'm only going to use half of that for right now, just to get that skillet. Look at that. Okay. And then we got those red pepper flakes that's going to go in there also, and we have that
And this
sage.
gives a little kick, doesn't it?
Makes
Okay,
it
and
come
the
to life,
sage
too.
going
And we got
in
the
here.
Sage going in. And lastly, we have our soy sauce light. Okay.
Now, Brass liquid aminos,
You can use
almost
Brian's
about the
liquid
same amount of
aminos.
sodium.
Same amount of sodium,
But
but
it's a
you can-
different taste, though,
Yeah, but
isn't it?
I like to have that more of a hickory flavor, so I'm going to be using
Oh, I see.
this one instead. Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
How's that, honey?
That looks pretty decent there.
Okay.
Okay, let's get a bigger spoon and really get it moving around in there because we're getting ready to make some burgers out of it. I'm kind of like mash it down a little bit so we can get a burger texture.
Okay.
All right.
Now, you don't have a scoop.
And you know I don't have a scoop. You know what? I'll tell you what I usually use too, and that is my cooking spray.
Okay.
And you wouldn't mind going to get that cooking spray, would you?
No, you want me to do it right now?
Yes, but you go do it right now because I'm going to make some serious burgers in a hot second.
You gonna be all right without me
I'm
for a
gonna be
while?
fine.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting that pan nice and hot, ready to receive the burger itself. And while he's doing that, we're going to go ahead on and, ooh, look at that. Look at the lentils. They are carrying on. We're going to go ahead on and add in. Remember I said we had to have that sauce now, so we're going to go ahead and put the sauce
Cooking
in.
spray.
All
I
right.
had some help from the camera guy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
See there?
Very helpful.
See there?
Very helpful.
Doesn't that look wonderful? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yes.
All righty. I'm going to put that lid, this lid back on it. And the reason why I got the cooking spray, believe it or not, is because I'm going to spray my hand.
Okay.
And, okay. And we're going to go ahead on and scoop.
I need to take a break after a little bit.
I'm going to scoop this up.
Okay. This is going to be new for a lot of people. Burgers out of lentils.
And we're going to lay it down.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Nice fat juicy burgers.
Big, fat, juicy burgers. And you know, you're going to couple it, because remember now, there's no eggs or anything in it,
Yeah.
okay? But the name of the game is to get,
But they're holding together.
yeah. Okay? Well, we're going to actually take a break, Curtis. I'm going to put some
Okay.
more of these burgers into the skillet. So we want you just to stay by.